You bought a Kia, the app is already on your phone. Maybe you've even used it a few times. But here's the question almost every owner eventually asks. Once the free years run out, is Kia Access actually worth paying for, or is it just another subscription you'll forget you have? The answer isn't as straightforward as you might think, because some owners won't want to give it up, while others say they stopped using it long before the trial expired. Today, we're breaking down exactly what the app does, what you lose when the free period ends, the complaints owners keep bringing up, and who should actually keep paying in 2026. By the end, you'll know whether Kia Access deserves a spot on your monthly budget or whether you're better off saving the money. Most people don't think much about their car's companion app when they first buy a Kia. It's just another download during setup, right alongside Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. You create an account, pair your vehicle, tap through a few permissions, and before long, you're checking tire pressure, fuel level, maintenance reminders, and maybe hitting the remote lock button just because it's there. For a lot of owners, that's the whole story. The app sits on the phone, it reminds you about an oil change every once in a while. That's it. But for others, something different happens. Instead of wondering if the doors are locked, they check the app. Instead of climbing into a scorching car after work, they cool it down before they even leave the office. EV owners start watching charging progress from the couch instead of walking out to the garage every hour. Small habits, but they add up. And then, without much warning, the complimentary Kia Connect subscription that came with the car starts creeping toward its expiration date. That's the moment a lot of owners ask a question they genuinely never expected to think about. Is this app actually worth paying for? On the surface, it feels like an easy question. If you use the connected features constantly, paying a few dollars a month should be a no-brainer, right? Except it isn't that simple. Because once owners actually look at the pricing and start reading what other people are saying, the answer gets a lot messier. Some renew instantly. They can't imagine going back to a plain key fob. Others cancel the second the trial ends, arguing the features aren't worth another bill, especially when a regular fob already locks the doors for free. And then there's the reviews. Spend 5 minutes reading them and you'll notice something strange. Some owners call Kia Access one of the best connected car apps they've used. Others describe delayed commands, inaccurate lock status, and features that used to be included now sitting behind a paywall. So, who's actually right? Here's the twist. Both of them are. And that's exactly what makes this app worth digging into properly, instead of just listing off features and calling it a day. Because the real question was never, does the app work? It's whether it works well enough for how you actually drive. Think about two different Kia owners. One commutes every day, parks outside no matter the weather, and constantly forgets whether they locked up. The other drives on weekends, parks in a private garage every night, and only opens the app when it's time for an oil change. Same vehicle, same app, two completely different answers waiting for them. So, before we get anywhere near a verdict, there's one thing we need to clear up first, because it trips up almost everyone. What exactly are you paying for? Here's the confusion that causes more headaches than anything else in this whole conversation. Kia Access and Kia Connect get used interchangeably online constantly. They are not the same thing. Kia Access is the app itself. It's free, always. Think of it as the front door to vehicle ownership, your owner's manual, your warranty info, instructional videos, maintenance milestones, and if you finance through Kia Motors Finance, your payment info too. None of that requires a subscription, ever. Kia Connect is the thing running quietly behind the scenes, the actual cellular connection that lets your phone talk to your car. That's what makes remote commands possible in the first place. Without Kia Connect, Kia Access is basically a digital glove box. With it, your phone turns into a remote control for your vehicle. And that difference becomes very important the moment your free trial runs. So here's a question a lot of owners get wrong. Does the app become useless once the trial ends? Not even close. The owner's manual, the warranty info, the maintenance schedule, the how-to videos, all of that stays exactly where it was. No subscription required. What actually disappears is the connected stuff. The features that rely on your car talking to Kia's servers over its built-in cellular hardware. During the free period, most owners get used to locking and unlocking remotely, warming or cooling the cabin before they even walk outside, checking vehicle health, and pulling up the car's location in a packed lot. EV owners probably notice the difference more than anyone. Checking battery percentage from the couch instead of walking to the garage becomes second nature. Many plans continue to let you see charging status and even start or stop charging remotely. But features like charge scheduling can depend on which Kia Connect plan you're using. That's why it's worth checking exactly what's included before your complimentary period ends. Once that complimentary period runs out, Kia's subscription plans come into play. The first level is Lite, which is included for up to 5 years on eligible vehicles. It keeps a handful of connected essentials, including certain vehicle status features, but many of the convenience features owners rely on to move into the paid plans. Above that are Care, Plus, and Ultimate. Care focuses more on safety and ownership services. Plus is where most owners find the biggest jump in day-to-day convenience, adding features like remote lock and unlock, remote climate control, and Find My Car. Ultimate builds on that with extras like over-the-air updates for eligible vehicles, enhanced navigation features, and additional connected services depending on the model. Sounds great, but here's the question that actually matters. Does everyone need the top tier? Not really. If you keep your car for years and want the newest software without a dealer visit, sure, it earns its keep. But if all you really want is a cool cabin before work and the ability to unlock the door from across a parking lot, you probably won't notice the difference paying for the most expensive plan. So it's not about which plan has the most features stacked on the page. It's about which plan has the features you'll actually reach for every single week. Before we look at which subscription actually offers the best value, we've got something many Kia owners have found incredibly useful. Our Kia Longevity Guide is a complete buying and maintenance guide packed with engine discussions, maintenance advice, and practical tips to help owners better understand and care for their vehicles. If you'd like to check it out, you'll find it linked in the description. Now, let's see which subscription actually makes sense for most owners. So if features only matter when they actually solve problems, what do the owners who use this thing every single day actually say about it? Turns out, quite a lot, and most of it's good. Start with the one everyone relates to. That moment walking away from the car when a thought pops into your head out of nowhere. Did I lock it? Without the app, the only way to know for sure is walking back. With it, you glance at your phone. Forgot? A couple of taps and it's done. No detour across the lot. It's a small thing, but it saves a trip more often than you'd think. Then there's climate control, and this one comes up constantly. Cooling the cabin down before you even leave the office on a brutal summer afternoon. Warming it up before a freezing morning commute. Instead of gritting your teeth through the first 5 minutes of a drive, the car's already close to comfortable the second you sit down. Families with newer drivers get something out of it too. Alarm notifications, roadside assistance built in, driving alerts that mean you're not blowing up your kid's phone every time they're 5 minutes late. But here's where it gets really interesting. EV owners. If you've never owned an EV, think of it like this. You're used to checking a fuel gauge once a week. EV owners check charge status the way some people check texts. So instead of walking to the garage every hour to see if it's done, they just glance at the phone. Schedule the charge for overnight rates. Done. And then there's Find My Car, the feature almost nobody thinks they need until one day. They're standing in a stadium parking garage with 400 identical gray SUVs around them, wondering which row they were even in. None of these features is individually life-changing, but put them all together and here's what happens. They quietly erase a bunch of tiny daily annoyances, the kind you never notice you've stopped dealing with until the day you don't have them anymore. Before we get into the biggest complaints owners have about Kia Access, take a second to subscribe if you're enjoying the video. We spend hours researching owner experiences, testing features, and breaking down what actually matters. We hope you're enjoying the content. Now, let's look at why this app has become one of Kia's most debated ownership features. Okay, so if so many owners genuinely love this thing, why are the reviews so split down the middle? Here's the interesting fact. It's almost never about the idea. It's about consistency. When Kia Access works, it feels seamless. Send a command, wait a couple seconds, the car does exactly what you told it. But according to a lot of owners, that's not always the experience. Take lock status. Some owners say the app shows the car as unlocked, even after they've physically locked it and double-checked. Others get the opposite problem. The app says secure when they want real certainty before leaving it overnight in a sketchy area. A refresh usually fixes it, but it chips away at something important. Trust in what the screen is telling you. Then there's the lag. A key fob talks straight to the car over a short range. It's instant. The app has to bounce the command through a cellular network and Kia's servers first, so a little delay is baked in. A few seconds for most people. Noticeably longer for others, especially with weak signal or when Kia's servers are getting hammered. Find My Car follows the exact same pattern. Incredible when it's current. Maddening when it's not. Some owners say the PIN shows where the car was, not where it is, which gets confusing fast if it's recently moved. But if you ask which complaint shows up more than any of the technical ones, it's not really about the app at all. It's the subscription. Not what Kia Access does, what happens after the free ride ends. Features that quietly became part of the daily routine suddenly need a monthly payment to keep working. Some owners shrug it off, just another line item next to Netflix and Spotify. Others push back hard. You just spent tens of thousands of dollars on this vehicle. Why is locking the door now a subscription? It's not only a Kia thing. The whole industry is drifting this direction. But that doesn't make owners any less annoyed about it. One more thing worth knowing before you weigh all this too heavily. App Store reviews skew negative by design. Nobody opens the App Store to write, "Everything worked perfectly again today." People show up when something breaks. That doesn't make the complaints fake. It just means the sample you're reading isn't the full picture. So here's one last thing before we land on a verdict. Is Kia just going to leave this app exactly as it is? Or is there something bigger coming? Turns out, bigger's coming. During Kia's EV Day presentation, the company laid out plans to merge several separate ownership tools into one single app. Right now, depending on what you're trying to do, you might be bouncing between an app for charging, one for diagnostics, one for navigation updates. Kia wants that to just be one thing. They've also floated something more ambitious. AI-powered assistance built right into the app. Instead of digging through a manual to figure out what a warning light means, you just ask, in plain language, and get an answer back. Sounds great. But here's the catch. Kia has already started rolling out AI-powered assistance on certain vehicles and in some markets. But many of the broader ideas the company has talked about, including bringing more ownership tools together into a single experience, are still expanding. So don't make today's decision based on where the platform might be heading. Make it based on what it offers you right now. All right, after all of that, features, pricing, glowing reviews, frustrated reviews, a roadmap full of promises, where does that actually leave us? Here's the honest answer. It depends less on the app and a lot more on the kind of owner you are. If your Kia still has complimentary Kia Connect running, there's really no reason not to use it. It's already paid for, it's easy to set up, and even light use adds convenience for $0 extra. The real decision only shows up once that free ride ends. If you actually use remote climate control before work, lock or unlock from your phone without thinking twice, check your EV's charge status throughout the day, or reach for Find My Car more than once in a while, pay for it. The good news is you may not lose as many EV features as people assume, since some charging functions remain available even on light for eligible vehicles. The real question is whether the features you personally rely on are part of your current plan. You'll notice the second those things disappear. For most people, the care plan is the sweet spot. It covers what you'll actually use without paying extra for the stuff you probably won't. But if the app's mostly just sitting there, untouched, week after week, renewing simply because the trial ran out isn't really a decision, it's a default. And your key fob is probably already doing everything you need. One last thing, and it's worth saying plainly. This app isn't perfect. Sync delays happen. Response times aren't always instant. The subscription frustration is real for a lot of people. None of that should be a footnote in your decision. It should be part of it. So here's where we land. Owners who use Kia Access every day generally say the same thing. It's hard to imagine giving it up. Owners who barely open it say the opposite. They don't miss it at all once it's gone. And honestly, that's about as clear an answer as you're going to get. And before you go, we've got something many Kia owners find useful. Our Kia Longevity Guide is a complete buying and maintenance guide packed with engine discussions, maintenance advice, and practical tips to help owners better understand and care for their vehicles. If you'd like to check it out, you'll find it linked in the description. Now we'd like to hear from you. Do you still use Kia Access every day, or did you cancel your subscription once the complimentary period ended? Let us know about your experience in the comments, because real owner feedback often tells a much bigger story than a feature list ever can. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. We regularly break down the features, maintenance advice, and ownership decisions that actually matter, so you can spend less time guessing and more time enjoying your Kia. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.